Howdy folks, welcome back to the World of Tanks patch 8.9 test server. It's back up. Wargaming took the test server down for a day in order to apply the second build of the 8.9 test, and there haven't really been that many changes, certainly nothing significant. A whole bunch of bug fixes, some corrections to visual models, nothing that we really need to worry about. I've been able to get straight back on and play some games in, well, amongst other things, this beauty, the Nashorn. This is the new German Tier 6 tank destroyer. And as a Tier 6 German tank destroyer, it's competing against the Flat Panzer, the Yag Panther 4. So, this thing just is not very good. It's better than it used to be. You used to have to drive these things against Tier 9 machines. And the matchmaker changes in patch 7.5 gave this thing a bit more of a lease of life, but it's still not that good a machine, and that's down to the crummy gun selection on it. So the Nashorn doesn't actually have to be that good to be the best German Tier 6 tank destroyer. Luckily, it is pretty good. So quick look at the stats, and we'll see exactly what we get for our money. It has 600 hit points, exactly the same as the Flat Panzer. The weight is, again, very, very similar, 23.39 tons. It's only about a ton or two lighter. It has a 300 horsepower engine, whereas the Flat Panzer has a 440 horsepower engine. And yet they both have either exactly the same or very, very similar speed and maneuverability. Both have a 40 km per hour top speed, and the Nashorn has a 36-degree traverse speed, which is pretty good, versus the 35-degree traverse speed of the Flat Panzer. Now, that extra horsepower in the Yag Panther 4 means that it will reach that top speed and maintain that top speed over rough ground better than the Nashorn will. But the Nashorn is not slow. It's not as ridiculously manoeuvrable and fast as the Tier 5 new German tank destroyer, the Flak Bus. That thing is just ridiculous. But it's not a slow machine either. Armour-wise, it's hopeless. Absolutely hopeless. It's got 30 millimeters of armour at the front, at the most. 20 at the sides, 20 at the rear. These new German tank destroyers are glass cannons, right? They're powerful machines, but they're very, very easy to kill, for the most part. The gun traverse speed is, well, the gun traverse speed is an irrelevant factor on non-turreted tank destroyers. What we really want to know here is the amount of traverse that the gun can turn to the left and the right. And it's not bad. I couldn't tell you the exact number, but you can turn it about, that much and about that much, and that's fine, especially considering the fact that the guns available for this thing have very, very good aiming time. So even if you do end up reaching the limit of your traverse when you're swinging the gun around to point at a target and you have to move the hull of the machine, it doesn't really matter because the guns have very, very good aiming times. It also has very, very good 390 meter view range and an average Tier 6 standard of 550 meters of signal range. So as far as the raw stats are concerned, the Nashorn and the Yag Panther 4 are pretty similar machines so far. However, just looking at them, the Nashorn is definitely a taller, bigger target, if you like, than the Yag Panther 4, which is notoriously sneaky if you drive it right. And that's always been the big advantage that the Yag Panther 4 has had, in that it's pretty maneuverable, it's pretty quick, it's good at getting forward and sitting in those ambush spots and remaining undetected until it's too late. Very, very sneaky machine if you do it right. The Nashorn, while I don't have access to any camo value numbers, does not seem to be a particularly unstealthy machine. I'm not saying it has a bad camo rating, but it's no way it's got as good a camo rating as this thing here. So that's the advantage that the Yag Panther 4 has always had, and it's pretty much the only advantage the Yag Panther 4 has over the Nashorn, because the Nashorn has a much better selection of guns. The guns on this thing are really, really good, and it shares two of them with the Yag Panther 4. Now, the interesting thing is, we'll just mount the guns and you can see what they look like. There you go. There's the 75mm L70. There's the 88mm L56. And both of these guns are also available on the Yag Panther 4. The strange thing is, if you were to fit the 75mm gun to the Nashorn, it has a better rate of fire on the Nashorn, and thus better DPM, than on the Yag Panther 4. if you were to fit the 88mm gun, which nobody uses because it's got garbage penetration, it's actually a better gun on the Yag Panther 4. It just has a slightly better rate of fire. So there's that. But this is the gun that everybody is going to be using because it's epic. The Pak 43 88mm L71. This was an amazing gun in real life. It's the gun that was actually fitted to the Tiger II. You first see it in World of Tanks mounted on the Tiger, the Tier 7 German heavy tank, or at least you used to. Now you're getting it down here at Tier 6 on the Nashorn, and it's a fantastic gun. The stats are, well, look at that. 9.52 rounds per minute, 203mm of penetration, 240 average damage, 0.32 accuracy, 1.9 second aiming time. That's just amazingly good. In fact, get a load of this. Now bear in mind that the Tiger, which also uses that gun as its top gun, had the stats of that gun buffed in patch 8.8. They increased the rate of fire, which was fantastic news for Tiger drivers. It's got a better rate of fire on the Nashorn, and it's more accurate, and it's got a better aiming time. So just, let that sink in for a minute. That's how good that gun is at Tier 6. It's just phenomenal. Even up here at Tier 7 on the German Tier 7 heavy tank, it's not as good as on the Tier 6 tank destroyer. That's just ridiculous. It's a really, really good gun to have on a Tier 6 machine of any description. So that's really that's the big thing about the Nashorn, the fact that it can fit that L71 88mm gun. But that's not all. There is another German tank destroyer that uses this gun. You get it at Tier 7. The Yag Panther. Now the Yag Panther gets a 105mm gun as well, which is a very, very good gun on this machine. But you're going to be unlocking the 105mm gun on the Yag Panther with that Pak 43 L71 88mm. And it's a good gun on the Yag Panther. But you would expect it to be a better gun on the Yag Panther because this is a Tier 7 tank destroyer. So you'd expect it to be a better gun on the Yag Panther than on a Tier 6 tank destroyer, the Nashorn. Yeah, you'd expect that. You'd be wrong. Here at Tier 7, this gun on the Yag Panther has a 9.84 rounds per minute rate of fire. And yep, that is better than on the Nashorn. Not much better, 9.84 versus 9.52. Yeah, there's not a lot in it. It's almost as fast firing. The damage and penetration is going to be exactly the same on both because it's the same gun firing the same shell. 203mm penetration, 240 average damage. Here at Tier 6, you've got a 0.32 accuracy and a 1.9 second aiming time. Up here at Tier 7, 0.32 accuracy and a 2.3 second aiming time. Yeah, so you could argue the case that this thing at Tier 6 has got a better gun than the Yag Panther at Tier 7. That's how good that 88mm gun is on this machine. Now, as far as crew skills and equipment fit goes, on this kind of tank destroyer, I always make the same recommendations. For the crew skills, just stack camo on everybody. As soon as your commander reaches 100% camo, swap it over for 6th sense, and then start training camo on the commander again. Right? You want camo at 100% on every crewman for these things. As far as equipment fit goes, camo net, right? Stick a camo net on it. Also, obviously, a medium caliber tank gun rammer, because they're fantastic, and any machine that can fit one, you should have one on it. If you can afford it, they're not cheap. Third equipment option, I am going to go with binocular telescopes. And again, the reason being, it's got fantastic view range. With binocular telescope, the view range is even better. And this is a dedicated sniping tank destroyer. This is not an assault tank destroyer in the same way that machines like the Ferdinand are. The way machines like the T28 prototype, machines that have good frontal armor and can take a beating. This thing cannot. You have to keep this thing right back. Use your view range, because in a lot of random battles you can't rely on your team to spot for you because people are stupid. Give yourself every advantage you can to stay hidden and spot them long before they spot you, and engage them effectively with the fantastic accuracy and long-range stopping power of this gun before they can see you. And that's the way to make this thing work. So, gun rammer, binocular telescope, camo net, and stack as much camouflage skill on your crew as you possibly can. So, should we play a few games? Yeah, let's play a few games. I think this was the first game I played in the Nashorn, and I think this is also the only game I have ever played in the Nashorn where I've been top tier. This is a mostly tier 6 game. Pay particular attention, by the way, in this game to our FV304 driver, QWERTY514 from the Russian server. He is an absolute lunatic. Keep an eye on the map, right? And I'll point out at the right moment when you should watch the map and just watch what this guy does. But anyway, yes, the Nashorn. This is a strong position on Ensk for certain kinds of tank destroyers. The Nashorn, not one of them. What the hell? It's not, I tell you, it's not like this gun to miss. And it just missed twice. But there's not actually that much, got him that time, not actually that much of that SU-100 exposed there. He was actually mostly in cover behind that truck at the bottom end of the road that you can see. Now, is he going to be dumb enough to come out again? Oh, AR-44 pop in the corner. Oh, there's an AMX-40. Okay. I've been spotted, and I'm not really that worried about the AMX-40's gun. I'll stay here for the moment. Wow, the enemy team just lost 4 tanks in very short order. If you look at the map, over on the eastern flank, that artillery, that's the FV304. Oh, there's the SU-100 popped up again. And again, this bloody gun misses. I swear it's usually better behaved than this. Ah, right, now we got you. Is he going to get his tracks up? No, he's not. So there's my first kill. There's my second kill. Okay, I've pretty much expended my usefulness from this position. I need to move. Now, watch the map. 2 artillery versus 1 artillery. Look at this 304 driver. Look at him go. Check that out on the map. Watch this. Number of shits given? None. He's just derped the enemy FV304, and then he's getting around behind the enemy M44. Meanwhile, I'm about to nail this ARL. And there you go. The 304 driver has just killed himself. 2 artillery in tank destroyer mode. Number of shits given? Nil. Speaking of tank destroyer mode. Oh, and I swear the amount of damage this M6 is doing. He's using the 76mm gun. Why would you drive an M6 on the test server and not fit the 90mm? Not that I'm complaining, it allowed me to get my 4th kill. But now I have to start trading shots. Here comes that. Here comes the arty driver again. Right up behind the ass of this 88 and just unloads one into him. Right there. And, yeah. 88 has the health and the rapid fire gun to beat an Nashorn one-on-one. He just has to hit you anywhere and he's going to penetrate. Whereas you have to hit him in the cupola every time. And I didn't expect to survive. I just wanted to get as much damage done as I could before the game ended because he was pretty much it. So that was my introduction to driving the Nashorn. And initially I thought, wow, it's not, I don't expect a gun with .32 accuracy to miss shots like that. And it was a little disappointing, but it was a statistical anomaly. The gun is usually much better behaved than that, as you're going to see in some of the other replays. But temperamental gun notwithstanding, good enough for a first class mastery badge in the first game I played. So that was nice. Despite the fact that a city map is definitely not the right kind of environment for one of these things, was easily able to earn the most XP of anybody on either team and doing over 2,000 damage in a very, very short and fast-paced game. But, okay, hostile environment notwithstanding, we were a top-tier machine, so Let's see how this thing performs when the odds are stacked against it. Right. If you want a test of any machine's capabilities, give it the worst possible matchmaking it could ever see. And this is definitely it. Look at this. God almighty, how many tier 8s? Almost all of them. There's an E25 at tier 7. Even the scouts are higher tier than I am, with the exception of the ELC. So yeah, I couldn't ask for worse matchmaking. We're here on Karelia. It's an assault map. We're the defending team. It's just tier 8 tanks, and a lot of those new German tier 8 tank destroyers. Well, 2 of them anyway, as far as the eye can see. So let's see what we can do. And survival is definitely going to depend on not being detected. So I'll come over to the western end of the map to reinforce this flank with a bit of long-range sniper fire. I have no shots on that AMX 5100. And he's about to disappear. As the guy spotting him, he's just killed. So our scouts are basically... well, they're not all dead. The E25 hasn't even loaded in yet, so we've just lost all of our scouts. There's a frying pan up there. Object 416. Look at this E25. What are you doing? Why would you go corner fight against tier 8s in an E25? What is wrong with you? Don't go around the corner. You go around the corner, you just kiss goodbye to your supporting fire and... oh dear. Now, the Nashorn doesn't have bad gun traverse. Oh, attempt. Oh, that's so nearly hit. But yes, the Nashorn does not have bad gun traverse. But it doesn't have fantastically good gun traverse either. And this is the kind of range that you need to be putting this gun to work at in order to never have to move the hull of the vehicle and maximise not just your binoculars but your camo net as well. So this is going to be tough. 110, very, very tough tank to penetrate from the front. T-4485s on the other hand, the new tier 7 premium Russian medium tank, very easy to penetrate. And they're pushing hard on this. There we go, there's my first kill. Oh, there's one of those tier 8. Ooh. Effectively, those new tier 8 German tank destroyers, not only do they have turrets, but they also basically have the same guns as the E100. Set the frying pan on fire, that's always nice. Those Object 416s have got very nasty guns. Bit of speculative fire, saw a guy coming around the corner, he popped out of view, thought I might hit him. Oh, they're pushing hard over here. And it looks like he's seen me, except he hasn't. No, I still haven't been spotted. Oh, I've been spotted now. I think I was only spotted when I fired. He saw the Type 69, the T69, sorry, who was with me, and wow, that was lucky. That was lucky. That was the 122mm gun from the 110 that hit me, and all it did was damage my track. Right, get back, somebody else fired and missed. Nothing more satisfying than being shot at and have people miss. Now this is actually not a terrible position. I've actually got concealment here from the branches of the tree in front of me because I pulled further back up the slope. It's a tight game. Scores a 7-6. You can see that 110 when he fires, but I'm not going to penetrate him. Not the front of his turret. Not from that range. He is a tier 8 heavy, and he's a very tough tier 8 heavy. But I'll keep putting fire down and encourage him to keep behind the wreckage of that tank. And as you can see, I'm not spotted, and it's the branches of that tree in front of me that's keeping me hidden. Now potentially this guy can spot me when I fire. Oh, there we go. And again, wow, that was either a 128 or 150mm gun that hit me, and all it did was blow my tracks off. I had some luck in this game, no question about it. Now I had to turn the hull of the vehicle there because see how quickly it aims. And we've pretty much successfully contained the threat on this flank. The other side isn't looking... This could still go either way. We've got the upper hand now. But I'm going to come back. It's either an IS-3 or an FCM... Oh, hello. Another Tier 8 tank destroyer. Now, watch this. Best shot in the game. He's disappeared. But I know he was more or less over there, so... Thank you, thank you. Thank you, I'll be here all week. Don't forget to tip your waitress and try the fish. What a shot. Oh man, and all they have left is an IS-3 who's out there somewhere. God knows where. So, yeah. Oh, there he is. And I'm probably not going to... Oh, yeah, again, you never know. He's probably not going to poke his nose out. He's not that stupid. So if we want to get a shot into this fella, we're going to have to work for it. But the point remains. Tier 6 tank destroyer in an almost completely Tier 8 game. And we'd had a bit of luck. We definitely had a bit of luck. Took 2 hits from tanks that should have been able to do serious damage to us, and our tracks ate it. I wouldn't count on that happening in every game you play. Oh, snapshot. Didn't get away with it. If I'd been patient, I could have gotten the kill on that IS-3, but I wasn't, so I didn't. But any game where you survive in a Tier 6 tank destroyer in a Tier 8 game is a good result. And any game where you finish second on XP earned in a Tier 6 tank destroyer in a Tier 8 game is a fantastic result. So, yeah, this machine, keep it hidden. That's the trick. Keep it hidden and don't get hit, and this machine will do you proud. So, time for one more replay, and it's probably not going to be the kind of replay you're expecting. The result may surprise you. You ready? Here it comes. And as an added bonus, here's the new map. This is Northwest. It's the new map that's coming out in patch 8.9. Now, I've only ever played on this map once before, and it was a bit of a disaster. I was in one of those new Chinese Tier 6 light tanks, new premium, the Type 64, which I think is a great little machine. But I'd sort of derped out in a very embarrassing way. I'm sure I'll show you it at some point. Mostly a Tier 7 game. So, and you know, this thing has no armour at all. It only has 600 health. It can't be getting shot at. So I am going to be staying well back in this game and letting my team do the spotting for me. That's the theory anyway. Also, I really don't know this map. Now, it doesn't seem to be very big because, as you can see, from here, I can see the enemy base. I certainly don't have the actual view range to spot anything in the enemy base from here, but it's not a very big map. You can see the majority of the team are heading straight west. Now, that ridge line up there, there isn't actually any concealment up there whatsoever, unless you start knocking trees down. There's no real cover up there. I found that out the hard way when I was driving the Type 64. So I'm basically going to sit here and give what covering fire I can to the rest of the team. Okay, so they've made contact, and it's probably a Panther or a T-44-85. But I don't have the view range to spot him. But oh, here we go. Here come their light tanks. Okay, got the view range to spot these guys. Type 64 and a 2801. Yep, no problem whatsoever. This Pak 43 is a fantastic gun. Come on, little light tanks, where are you? Stop shooting at my friends. Ah, there he is. Oh man, that's a lot of them. Alright, I need to start killing them. Type 64's got into cover. Can I? No. It's not working as friends. Oh, good solid hit on that other Type 64. T-34-85 there as well. Ah, that one missed. Not very impressed with those T-44-85s, I have to say. Seen them in a couple of games, and I have no problems whatsoever killing them in anything I drive. Oh, that hit, but his tracks absorbed it. That's a bit disappointing. That would have been a kill otherwise. SU-122-44's coming in. He's seen the threat. He's nailed the Type 64. I help defend him against that T-44-85. This guy. Having a bad day. I haven't been spotted yet, you'll note. And that's what you've got to do with this thing. Oh, hang on. This SU-122-44's in trouble. Am I going to get another shot at this T-44-85? Yep, I am. But yes, you'll notice I have not been spotted yet. I've got Sixth Sense on this crew. And this is how you need to play this thing. As a sneaky, long-range, unseen sniper. Because you only have 600 health, and your armour is garbage. So, done what I can on that flank. But there wasn't an awful lot pushing around from that side, other than light tanks and one or two mediums. The majority of the enemy tanks seem to be heading up north, where the majority of our tanks are. So if I want to give some adequate supporting fire to the rest of my team, I'm going to have to move forward. Pop down here quickly, check that the southern flank was secure. It did seem to be. Looks like we dealt with a threat that was coming up that way, so let's move up and try and support the rest of the team. All those guys are still stuck up there on that ridge with no cover. There's a Dickomax, don't have a shot at him, but Type 64 did. Nailed him. There's another T-34-85 who... I don't know what it is about those things. Nothing that seems to shoot at them fails to penetrate. We've just lost the SU-122-44. And we got nothing detected. Binoculars up, camo net up, and I can't see anything from here either. And I've probably got the best view range of anything on the team. That's not good. An IS-2 just destroyed our Tier 7 TD that was heading to the south. We've now got nothing covering the south. Possibly... yeah, it must have been him. Wow. All the way from there. Okay, start working him over. That one missed. It is 632 metres away, by the way. That's the range. And I'm penetrating that IS-2 with everything that hits him. I'm not always hitting him, because it's 670 metres away. But that is a good gun. To still be penetrating heavy tanks at that kind of range, you can't argue with that. Again, trying to keep an eye on the south, but I don't really have line of sight on anything coming around there. There's an E-25 there. Artillery's taking a pot shot, missed. I'm trying to blow this guy's cover away so I can get some shots into him. And there's all sorts of targets popping up here. Panther 2 there. Yeah, don't have an effective shot at him. Nope, nothing on him. IS-2. Yep, I can penetrate you from here. Slight problem in the replays here, by the way. For some reason, you don't always get the outline when you've got the cursor over a tank, or the range indicator, and oh no, suddenly there's only 3 of us left, and we're being capped. And it's a T-34-85, so, well, KV-13's on his own. No, he's dead. Now there's only 2 of us left. Our artillery's trying to hide from that T-34-85. I think we've lost this. We've totally lost this game. But, you know, we'll do what we can. I mean, it's 7 versus 2, and our artillery's about to die. So effectively it's 7 versus 1. Potential Kolovanov's medal. But the advantages are, you know, I've lost all the advantages that I have now, remaining unseen. From here on in, there we go. It's the first time I've been spotted the entire game. Can I save the artillery? Probably not. couldn't fire there without risking hitting him. Take a shot, blow the T-34-85's cover away. I'll probably get hit here, but I need to kill this guy before the rest of his team turns up. He's trying to hide. Thank you, because that I was going to have to destroy that cover in order to take a shot at you, so thank you for blowing it away. And there's my second kill. Now it's only 6 versus 1. Come on, Jingles, you can do it. I don't think so. There's the one downside of this thing. There's going to be very little carrying that you can do. I mean, if your team are complete failures, there's only so... You know, you can't really carry in this thing. You can't trade shots. First shot misses the E-25. Artillery damages my tracks. But I can at least kill this E-25 before I go down. Yep, got him. And, oh, yeah. There's that Panther. And that, boys and girls, is so far the best game I've played in the Nashorn. And it was a loss. Second class mastery badge for losing. That would probably have been ace tanker if my team hadn't been completely hopeless. So yeah, 45,000 credits, 1,000 XP on a defeat. What a machine. Look at that. Did 3,000 damage in a tier 7 match with a tier 6 tank destroyer. This is an incredibly capable machine. I really, really like it. Look at that. 23 shots, 15 hits. The accuracy is what you'd expect. That for the first half of the game, I was engaging targets at exceptionally long range, so that's not bad. And more importantly, despite the fact that almost every shot I fired was at very, very long range, everything that hit penetrated, and I didn't have to buy any skill or gold ammo to do it. It's a really, really, really good gun. So yeah, I will definitely be looking forward to getting one of these things on the live server. This is going to be a keeper. I think this is a fantastically good machine. It's just the rate of fire, the penetration, the damage, the DPM, the aiming time, the gun. There's nothing at all bad about that L71 88mm gun. It's a fantastic piece of kit. It's great on the Yag Panther. It's great on the Tiger. Those are at tier 7. You're getting it down here at tier 6. Oh, yes, please. Oh, definitely. I think this is a great machine. I've had a lot of fun driving it. When I wasn't being team killed and and what have you, test server rules and all that. And I'm sure that when this thing goes live, you guys are going to have a lot of fun driving this as well. As always, folks, take care on that battlefield. Have whatever you're playing, have fun playing it, and I'll catch you next time.